Boro fans, hello, Jimmy Lees here, Boro Fan TV. For your latest episode of the third half, our weekly debate show where we talk about all things Boro, positive, negative, or whatever's happening. This week's guest, we've got James Hutchin in the studio. James, thanks for joining us.
No problem.
James has got one hell of a claim to fame, by the way. He's a former winner of the Three Legends 10k fan competition. Not many people get that much money talking about the Boro, mate.
No, they don't.
I certainly don't.
No, I was quite fortunate. It wasn't just talking about the Boro, it was mainly questions about anything to do with football.
Yeah.
So you went through a few rounds, had to get 3 out of 3 right, go through to the next round, and then fortunately I got through to a final up at the studio in Gateshead.
Happy days, mate, happy days. And you won?
Yeah, I won. It was me, a Newcastle fan and a Sunderland fan.
Yeah.
And,
not tough competition then, is it, to be fair?
Well, it was alright. Usually the Boro come on top, so yeah, we did that day, yeah.
Certainly when it comes to anything educational anyway, mate, let's be honest, they're not the most cleverest people in the world. Sorry, everyone. So to be honest, mate, you've got even better claim to fame than AJT.
I couldn't possibly say that at the minute.
No, well, I don't know. He's fishing chip paper now. The lad don't want to talk with him again now. I think Leeds fans have backed off. I'm sure a couple will join here. It tells how much they love him. So it's fair to say you know your onions, so it should be an interesting show, mate.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Good stuff. North Stand season ticket holder since we opened in '95.
I am, yeah.
Been on Boro Fan TV before, so people remember this face.
Yes, I think it was after the QPR game. I was on outside the Green Tree.
Yeah, is that your usual drinking haunt, is it?
It's somewhere I frequent, yeah.
Well, that's fair enough, mate. We all have them places, haven't we? Right, as we do with any fan that comes on, James, we start with the quick fire fan questions.
Okay.
Now, I do ask them to be quick, but generally the only reason they're not is because I now start interjecting and telling you about my opinion on that as well. So
right.
I do apologise if I waffle, mate. We've got to fill half hour somehow. Might as well be talking about things like this. Right, okay. Favourite ever player?
Janino.
Easy one for that one, eh?
Yeah.
Favourite ever match?
Probably the Carling Cup final against Bolton.
Yeah.
Just winning a trophy, so yeah, didn't think that had ever happened. So when it did, massive relief. And
well, the years you've seen what following the Boro, what was it, early 80s onwards? You've been watching us?
Yeah, I've been going since '76 was the first game I went to see him. So you think the disappointments of the 3 cup finals before then, and never getting past the FA Cup quarter-finals before then.
Yeah,
so
not until '96, was it?
Yeah. So to actually win something was amazing.
Yeah, fair play. Favourite ever goal you've seen?
A few good ones. John Hendry's against Millwall at Ayresome Park was a great goal. Obviously, like the Macaroni goal in the European semi-final. But I think the best goal in terms of footballing wise, I would go for 2 from Janino. Again, there was the Chelsea goal. Yeah, the diving header. Yeah, and then the same season we played Man United away and we went 3-1 up, and there was a goal that was an unbelievable move. I think Hignett was involved, Chris Freestone. I mean, you're throwing names in there like Chris Freestone, Janino, players that you wouldn't normally think, but I think he just brought the best out in everyone. And that goal, if you watch it, and there's even, I remember seeing it back, Man United fans sat behind the goal clapping, and it's just, you just think, well, that says it all. What an amazing player he was, but what a good team they were, footballing wise. Yeah, there was the guy who does the Way We Play blog was talking about that season a little bit on Twitter today, and it was it's strange. It's a season that ultimately ended in disappointment, 2 losing cup finals and relegation, but it's always remembered fondly, isn't it? I don't think as a Boro fan I'll ever see a team play in patches and spells football as good as that team played. They were just on a different level completely. It's just we couldn't find that consistency. You got Ravanelli, Janino up top, then you got Phil Whelan at the back. Like, we were letting in goals for fun, weren't we? So Gary Walsh in goal. It cost us. I think we looked a bit better. We signed Festa, didn't we? Yeah. We signed Mark Schwarzer. Yeah, I think Pearson was out for a lot of that season, injured, and when he came back, that made a difference as well. There was just little things like that, and I mean, I'll go on to something about that later on. I think that's one of the biggest disappointments for me, what ended up after that, because... worst player you've seen for the Boro? Oh, it's a tough one. I don't like the name, particularly names. There's been some signings that I've been disappointed with. Even players like Jason Ewell, I thought he was a lad that did all right at Charlton. He came to us and he was just, so it's harsh to name someone, but he's one that stands out a bit for me. I was, when we signed him, I was hugely disappointed. We just came off the back of getting in the UEFA Cup final. That's right, yeah. Obviously, our manager went to manage England, so we appointed Gareth Southgate, who a lot of people thought was the right idea. Personally, I thought was the right man 10 years too early. And then we'll get in that position and think, do you know what we need now? We got rid of Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. We think he's too old. Yeah, we could get Jason Young, you know. Well, I can see why you think like that. What's the thought process? I don't get it. I don't get it. It just never took off, did it? No, I didn't. No, I didn't. A bit more positive now. Best value for money signing? Bernie Slaven. Yeah, 25 grand 140 odd goals.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, fair point. Best away day you've had as a Boro fan?
There's been a few. I enjoy Brighton away days are a good day. Brighton's just a fantastic place, and they're really good with the away fans there at Brighton with the concourse and that, how they have it all set up. And
Palmer's last year, didn't
they? They keep it all open for like a couple of hours after the game. And you get a pint and everything like that. And
that's good.
They're fantastic down there, so Brighton, very good, yeah.
Oh, nice shout, mate. Best away day pie?
I don't think you can go far wrong with the ones like Lancashire way, like Wigan, Blackburn, Preston. They always tend to do a good pie. Bolton, they all do good pies down there.
Do. Yeah. Best away day pint?
I think you've got to stay up this way, really, north. Although I didn't have a drink last week, but some of my mates did at Leeds and they said it was awful.
Really?
Worst pint ever.
Fair play.
So maybe I'm wrong.
Well, Leeds are a bit.
It's just Leeds, I know. Sorry, it's not an anti-Leeds thing, but it was awful. Apparently.
Sort your beer out, Leeds fans, before you start shouting at AJT. Favourite Boro kit?
The 73, 74, the one with the white band across, and then the away one, the black and blue stripes with the light blue shorts. Love that. I
think that's kind of like if we're trying to say an iconic looking kit for Boro,
identity.
That will give us our identity, wouldn't it? Yeah, it really would. Best stadium you've ever visited?
I've been to the new camp, but obviously not to see the Boro, so that's probably the best one. But best to see the Boro, I would have to say probably Wembley. Yeah. For all it's not great memories there.
But yeah, the new Wembley's something else in it. Yeah,
very, very nice.
Something else. That saddest moment as a Boro fan.
From a footballing point of view, I would say what I was talking about earlier on when we got relegated at Leeds in '97, because it was bad enough at the time and it felt unfair with how we'd played and the 3 points being taken off us. But then when you hear afterwards about some of the players we were meant to be getting that summer, like Roberto Carlos, Christian Vieri, Romario Bebeto, they were all mentioned. You think
Des Walker.
Well, again, you'll never beat Des Walker. And you just think we would have been again. If that season was great, the season after could have been even more amazing. And I think we'd have won something even quicker than we actually did. But aside from football, just things like Ugo Ekiog, Willie Madron. They're proper sad things, and you get bent out of shape about the football sometimes and results and not getting promoted or getting relegated, but things like that happen, that puts it in perspective.
No, that's it, very right there, very right. A funniest moment as a Boro fan?
We once went, 3 or 4 years ago, went to the weekend when we played Yeovil away, last game of the season.
Right, yeah.
There was a minibus of us went down there.
That's one of a minibus ride, isn't
it? It was a heck of a minibus ride, but there's a lot of things that went on there that I can't possibly say on here now.
Right.
But we got there, and we had the first night. On the Friday night, we stayed in a hotel in Weston-super-Mare.
Right.
And one or two of the lads had enjoyed themselves a bit on the way down there. We got to the pub that was attached to the hotel, and again, one of the lads, I won't name his name, I'll just say Jimmy for argument's sake. And he
wasn't me.
No, it wasn't you. It was another Jimmy, but I can't possibly say his name. But he wasn't allowed any more drink. He'd been told by the manager, no more drink. And but anyway, we got drinks to him, and he ended up a bit worse for wear by the end of the night. The second night, after the game on the Saturday, we stayed in a hotel in Taunton with the same hotel chain. And we decided, as a bit of a prank, one or two of us, we'd go in before and then say we weren't allowed in the hotel because of someone's behaviour the night before.
Right, yeah.
So we did this, and two of us came back out the hotel and said, bad news. They're not letting us in because of what happened the night before. We didn't mention any names, but everyone else on the minibus knew what was it about.
Yeah.
So this lad in particular, nothing was said. His head was getting lower and lower. He was kicking every stone he could find on the ground. He just couldn't give eye contact to anyone. And he just piped up, I think I saw a hotel down the road there that might be vacant. Well, that was it. We all laid in and said, no way, no chance, it's bank holiday weekend. We're going to have to go home now. You've ruined it for all of us. And honestly, he didn't say when. And we said, get your cases, get in there. It's all right. We're only kidding. So he was devastated, never lived it down. So that was
class.
Fun, yeah.
Brilliant. Where do you think Boro finish this season, and James?
I think we'll probably finish about 5th. I think we'll make the playoffs. I don't think it'll be pretty. And I'm quite happy to accept that this season. If we finish 5th, we finish 5th and we take what the playoffs throw at us.
I think the best analogy for us this season is probably, in relation to me as well, not pretty but effective.
If it does the job.
I'm far from pretty, but I am very effective.
If it does the job, it's okay.
Well, exactly, yeah. Well, Mrs. Lees is currently on now as well, so she might even think that. Here's a little cheesy question for you. If you had to compare yourself to one Boro player, who would it be?
I'd like to think we compare to someone like Robbie Mustoe.
All right, nice. Nice.
Just quietly gets on about his business, does his job.
But well liked.
I'd settle for that. I'd like that.
Graft in it.
I'd like that.
Here's a few questions coming in. Jacob Ross has asked, who's the most underrated player to wear a Boro shirt?
Underrated?
Yeah.
I think Musto would be up there with one of them, because to think of all the teams he played in, he was in 90 from Oxford. Yeah. And he stayed till about 2002. So he went through the whole of the end of the Ayresome Park here at the start of the Riverside, played with some great players, played alongside like Sir Paul Ince and players like that. Held his own.
Still there, wasn't he?
Held his own. So I would say, he was a good player, very underrated.
He's man as well, to be fair. He's definitely man. We've got to Callum James. Sir, ever since you left our schools, been awful, mate. Come back. I think your former employees are trying to get you back there, mate.
Oh... Good lad, Callum.
Yeah, let's have a look what else. This should be fun talking about all people who've left after 60 minutes and how fans call themselves the best around. What a disgrace. That's from Phil Conway. I think Phil's going to open up some debate here. John P. Phillips has mentioned we pay our £1. We can leave when we want, which is all well and good. So that's one thing to say. And one thing I always say is, I left early on Saturday. I really fancied another beer, if I'm being honest. I needed it. But I find it completely counterproductive. If you're not going to be there and support the team, then I still expect them to win. Yeah. But I think the game was pretty much done when people were leaving on Saturday.
For me, I wouldn't have a go at anyone that wants to leave or goes to leave. I stayed till the end, but there's been times in the past where I have walked out early. But I just stayed on Saturday. But I wouldn't have a go at someone that wants to leave, because at the end of the day, sometimes it's the worst thing to see when you've got the away fans crowing about what's going, giving it all A's, Derby giving it all A's, and you're like... It's a bit grim, and you're disappointed enough, so I can understand if people want to leave. I wouldn't have a go at anyone for doing that.
It's not nice to see. It hurts. It hurts to see your team playing so badly. But on the other hand, is that what I will never ever understand is booing.
I wouldn't do that, and I think that's when it's counterproductive, and that's when it's not right, when people start, because I don't think that's going to make the team play any better.
Well, it's not. Right, let's say you're at work, and you're grafting your puddings off. The head teacher comes over you and starts booing you. Like, just go, boo, James, you crap, boo. You got, sorry, head teacher, I'll start grafting more now, shall I?
It just knocks your confidence even more. Of course
it does, it doesn't help. It doesn't help. Stop booing. I say it every week, stop it. It doesn't help anyone, not anyone. I don't want to hear it either, to be fair. Right, so you chose a nice week to come on, James.
Yep.
Things are looking on the up, aren't they? We'll have a little chat about the Derby match if you want, mate. So we touched on it briefly there. Key stats will be coming on the screen now, Boro fans, so you can have a look at. The main ones to have a look at here. So the home team's on the left hand side there. Ball possession, 59% of their 41. Total shots, we had 16 to their 13. This is the key stat we really should be looking and worry about there, though, James. We had 2 shots on target to their 8.
That for me is, again, you've got Martin Braithwaite in the team, you've got Britt Assombalonga in the team. Assombalonga, you could arguably say, is the best striker in the Championship. He's feeding off scraps.
Absolute scraps,
and I feel sorry for him, because he's got 11 goals this season, and he's getting very little service, he's getting very little help. And again, I think that's where we've missed Gusted, to be honest, because Gusted took a lot of pressure off.
He did,
Assombalonga.
He did.
And as well as we played in the first half on Saturday, which you could argue and say that was the best first half we've played.
I'd argue and say it wasn't.
And you could say that it was, but how many clear-cut chances did we have?
Well, you're talking, there was a couple little lucky ones, I'd say, from crosses.
From long throw-ins.
I'll tell you the issue we've got with Assombalonga here, James, this is my opinion anyway, is you'll notice he hasn't scored any goals against a top team yet, and we're not beating these teams as well. We'll touch on the stat on that later on. It's because we're struggling to break these types of teams down. Now, one thing we were trying to do on Saturday, which just is not the lad's game at all, we were playing the ball up to him, expecting him to hold the ball up and play off him. That's not his game at all. He hasn't got the best first touch in the world. Where he is good, put the ball in the box, he'll try and get on the end of it. Play the ball behind, he'll run on the other side of the centre half and get on the end of it. Or cut the ball back and he'll score. He's not your link-up centre forward, so why are we trying to play that with his game? Like, play to someone's strengths. And if we are playing these better teams, you have to think, okay, in a completely different shape. Do we go 4-4-2 and put Braithwaite further up next step, him to be the link-up man? Go for Patrick Bamford, that type of link-up man? Or is it when Gusted comes back, everything's going to be okay? What's the solution?
I'd like to see Bamford in the team, I've got to be honest. I'd like to find a place for Bamford in the team. And again, it almost feels like you're having to shoehorn people in at times, and you might have to play people out of position. Now, I know we had a discussion earlier, and I think I would be happy to play Braithwaite wide right and play Bamford behind Assombalonga, but I know some people like Braithwaite where he is at the moment. But I just feel as though you've got to find it, because Bamford is one of those players that can unlock defences.
He can.
And he can also finish when he's in that position. He's not had a great time since he came back and we've signed him permanently, But 2 years ago when he played for us, he was scoring some fantastic goals. And he's just a clever player, and I would like to find a place for him in the team.
Well, no, maybe they will do. We'll go through your lineup in a bit as well, James. I've looked through that. A few other stats as well, just kind of go over on this one with you. We had more passes, 455 to their 330. We were more accurate with them. We had 83% accurate passes.
It's where they're going, though.
There we go. So this is an argument I always have with Boro fans on Twitter, and this is why a lot of Boro fans hate me. I comment on the whole thing is regards to Adam Clayton. What does he offer? What does Adam Clayton offer to our Boro team at the moment? The lad looks short of confidence. Now, 2, maybe even 3 years ago, Adam Clayton was looking all right. He wasn't putting all his passes forward, but he was playing some. You got to look at the goal away at Bolton Wanderers and things like that. He was looking to unlock from deep positions. He won't do that now.
No.
So them that accurate passes, I'm not surprised it's over 80%. I'm really not. But it's what's it done for us? What's it done? Considering we've only had 2 shots in the box. On target. What's it created?
We're crying out for somebody from midfield, and I don't know if we've got that midfield player there at the moment from somebody who can drive forward with the ball. I mean, we've seen it in little glimpses with Howson in some games where he's got the ball, picked it up and ran forward. And that's what we need, because we need to commit defenders, because at the minute teams are, like you said earlier, quite happy to sit back and say, come and break down 2 ranks of 4. And at the minute, we're just passing the ball and we're keeping the ball for fun, but we're not getting anywhere with it. It's too slow and predictable.
You can think of 2 occasions in particular where Johnny Howson's broke from midfield and it's been effective. Reading away, he got the assist of British Longer, and it was Brentford at home
for the second equaliser.
I've not seen any of our... Adam Clayton done a little break against Swansea last season where he ended up pulling back from the Grado, but I can't think of the time he's done that.
It's something that's been missing from our team for a long time, I think. And I think that's something that they maybe need to address in the transfer window, or change people's roles. So because Howson did do it at Norwich, but he doesn't seem to be doing it enough here, whether that's under instruction or for fear of having to cover other people. I don't know.
Do you not think we've got this creative player already in Lewis Baker?
Maybe, but for whatever reason he's not getting a game, and he didn't do bad in the QPR game, if I remember right. He scored in that game.
He did, Marvin Johnson had a good game that day as well.
Again, that's something else. Marvin Johnson, again, I feel for the lad, because he's only just come in and people are getting onto his case a little bit. But again, he's not a young lad. I think I heard somebody say...
He's 27, I think.
26, 27, so he's not a young lad, he's not a kid. And I just feel at the moment it's maybe a place that could be better filled by somebody else at the moment. That's not a dig at him, but I just feel at the minute his confidence can't be great. He must be able to pick up on how people are feeling at the moment and stuff like that. So
well, you hear it. Let's be honest. You're a footballer. You're surrounded by all the fans. You're going to hear. You're going to hear the groans of discontent when you lose the ball, aren't you? And that's not going to help you.
No.
Of course, it's not going to help you. I don't think he's been in and out of the team a lot, and that doesn't help any footballer. I think you need to run of games. And Johnny Howson was getting slated. And you could say rightly so, beginning of the season. He got a run of games, and look at him now. Stuart Downing, run of games, look at him now.
Best player in the team.
There we go. So maybe that's just what players need. I mean, Derby was a horrible game. It's one we need to forget about, but there's been too many of these games, it's one of them. Now, there's a stat which is quite worrying. So we played 8 of the top 15 so far this season. We've won 1 game, Sheffield United at home, which, to be fair, is a game we were lucky to win.
We were.
Now, is that a sign of the times? Are we just not good enough?
I'm not so sure about it, because I think before Saturday we hadn't lost any game this season by more than 1 goal, so we're in absolutely every game. And you could argue there's some of those games we didn't deserve. Cardiff certainly didn't deserve to lose. I would say on the day we deserved to win that more than Cardiff, but we lost. Wolves away, there was nothing at all in that game. It was a silly mistake. We lost 1-0. So yes, we have not done great against the top half teams, but going back years supporting the Boro, it was always typical Boro that they do well against the good teams, be awful against the other teams. It's gone in reverse this year, where teams at the bottom, we can put them away no problem, really.
We'll put them in relative ease.
The teams at the top, and that has to be addressed, because we can't go through the season as it is at the moment. But I'm confident it will change. I mean, I'm pretty sure we'll get a decent result on Saturday at Bristol City. I've just got a feeling we'll win there. So,
okay. We'll talk about Bristol a little bit later on there. But the one thing is, we haven't seen before is a lot of individual mistakes. We never see that. We were kind of spoilt. There's me quid for the week, Karanka jar. We never saw that under Karanka. No. We never saw individual mistakes. So were we lucky? Were we blessed with that? I'm gonna give you a little bit of a rant that Davey Richardson's put in for us here. So he's saying, as a Gary Monk fan, I must say I'm losing patience with his lack of progress. recently. Personally, I think Steve Gibson should be on the phone to Tony Pulis first thing this morning, which I think is a little bit drastic. If you didn't like the football under Karanka, I don't think you like the football under Tony Pulis. Danny Ayala again. I was a big fan over the last few seasons. However, Saturday's performance by him was nothing short of atrocious. Why Fry got dropped for one mistake still bewilders me. As if Gibbo wouldn't get dropped. Sorry, but far too many incorrect decisions on our team for me. Monk, Traore, Fry, Clayton and Bamford should all be in the side. I know you may disagree, Jim, especially on Traore and Clayton. More Clayton than Traore, to be fair. I think Traore should be in at the moment. But something's got to give. Bristol's a huge match.
It's a big game because they're, 5 points ahead of us. And it's certainly one we can't afford to lose. Yeah. We can't afford to lose it. And again, but I think we can get at them. I mean, they were 2-0 down at Hull on Saturday. And I just think I can see us scoring goals there on Saturday. I really can. And I know why people are frustrated. Obviously, it's not gone how some people had hoped it would go this season so far. Yeah. But again, you've got to be realistic. Yes, there's 2 automatic places. We've got no divine right to be up there.
Of course you haven't, no.
There's clubs like that are above us at the moment, Aston Villa. Yeah. They had a difficult season last year, their first year down. They've spent money, big club. Yeah, again, and it's not, the season's not over yet. I wouldn't give up on things. We're 7th position. Yeah. We're 3 points outside the playoffs. There's a hell of a lot of football. Over half the season to go. Yeah. And I just worry that if we go down the line of sacking Gary Monk now, you then bring a new manager in, unsettles things a little bit. Yes, you might get an initial spell where you get decent results from it. You might not, though. Yeah. And then where do you go from that? And again, you've given Gary Monk a 4-year contract. Yeah. So he's going to have to go. All his backroom staff are going to go.
It's going to be expensive.
It's going to be very expensive. So, and I just don't see Steve Gibson going down that path.
James Rowlands has said here, which I think is a very good point to be fair, James. The midfield wasn't addressing the some of the signings were all wrong, apart from Braithwaite and Britain. I know James was quite vocal about this on Twitter, to be fair, and I pulled him up, told him he was terribly negative, but a lot of the points he addressed, he was quite right about. It was just some signs that put, the reason we got relegated last year on the football pitch was our midfield wasn't creative enough. Yeah. And our midfield was too quick to get past. And we have signed Johnny Howson, which is starting to work out for us, but we're going back to Grant Leadbitter, and apparently Grant Leadbitter, he should have been dropped 2 years ago, according to Boro fans. Adam Forshaw was better than him, so where are we with that? I think James got a good point.
Yeah, I think that's something that needs to be looked at in the transfer window. I think that for me, a left back as well, I think I would look at as well. Yeah, in the transfer window.
Yeah, Georgia struggled, Danny, bless him. Yeah, we don't like to see that.
No, he's been a fantastic servant, but he's struggling a bit at the moment.
He is, mate. He is. Ian Ross has asked, do you think we'll see Jarl again for a while? Should we try Shotton or Fry? Certainly when we go down the Shotton route.
It must be a funny one for Shotton because he was a steady player at both Birmingham and Derby, and he's come here and he had that horror show against Brentford, but I think most people did that game. Yeah. But Fry, like you say, did little wrong apart from that mistake against Norwich. And he's certainly been punished for it by how long he's been left out the team.
He has, yeah. He has.
And in fairness, I thought him and Gibson were building up quite a good relationship. And I've got to say, personally speaking, I don't think Ben Gibson has been anywhere near what he can be like this season. I think he's struggled. And it can't be easy for him having to chop and change with his centre-half partnership. It won't help him. And I think probably Ben would be as happy having Dale Fry back alongside him. So
I just think a bit of stability for the lads. Yeah. Like for anyone playing that position, I think any good team is built with a good, strong back four. Yeah. And we've seen a lot of change in that this season. But say Ben Gibson hasn't looked as brilliant as he was previously. But let's be honest, you look through anyone who's came down with us this season, they still look a little bit like short on confidence.
Yeah, I think that season in the Premier League has damaged a lot of those players more than people will accept or will acknowledge, because it took a hell of a lot out of us. I think, was it 6 wins all season or something? Was it 28 points? We only won 1 game after Christmas, and that was against Sunderland, who were awful. And you could see we were absolutely shot to bits last year, and it's a hangover from that. And I still think it's a credit to the players that are there now, Gary Monk and Steve Gibson, that in spite of all that, we're still 7th in the league. Not far off the playoff place. I think there's a lot to be positive about. You look at Hull and Sunderland, they're absolutely nowhere.
Very fair point, very fair point. Right, we'll go to your 1 to 11 now then, James. Okay. So a few people have asking in regard to what would be your 1 to 11. Why don't we just do that? We'll bring it on for you, mate. So, I'm going to pull you up in a couple of ones on here, mate. So, and someone, to be fair, is agreeing with you already. Someone's mentioning Stephen Trodden. We need Braithwaite back on the wing. He's no good behind the striker. Now, you say back on the wing. He's not played in the wing for us yet. He played on a 4-3-3, but he certainly wasn't on the wing. But well, I'll give you that one anyway. But you've gone for Braithwaite on the wing.
I've put him in because I want to find a place for Patrick Bamford in the team. And I think Braithwaite's as skillful a player and a good enough footballer that he would play wide right and he would be quite disciplined and play well there and create chances for Assombalonga and put balls in for him. And I'd like to have Bamford just playing off him because, again, I think he's a clever footballer. He can create things and he can also finish as well.
I'll be honest, when you sent me your 1 to 11, I said 4-3-3 on that.
Right.
So I thought you would have Bamford and Braithwaite either side of Assombalonga, and then Ledbetter sitting deep with Howson and Down in front of him. That's what I thought you would have went.
You could go that way as well if you wanted to. So that is a possibility. So you can be quite flexible in how you use it. I think Monk would be more likely to go 4-4-1-1 though, I think.
Yeah, well, that's what he's played majority of the time.
So I think that's what he would do.
Statistically, it's been our more successful formation as well, to be fair. Now, you've went for Downing on the left.
Yeah.
Is there a reason you've gone for Downing on the left?
Just because he's doing such a good job there. Yes, you could play him behind the front man.
He's been playing this right-hand side this season.
Yeah, and he's played there, but I like him getting balls in.
Yeah.
I think he can put a good ball into the box. So I would have him there, put Braithwaite right. Like I say, Bamford behind Assombalonga, and then Howson, Ledbetter in the middle. I like Howson. I think he's doing really well last month again.
Yeah.
He's started coming into his own.
I think so, yeah.
And I think Ledbetter, just for that bit of leadership in there. And a bit
Missed that again on Saturday.
Yeah.
Someone to snarl and get on the players' backs a bit.
Yeah.
I think Ben Gibson struggled when he's been captain of the club, I really do. I noticed it with George Friend, in particular, he was struggling as captain. But Grant Ledbetter doesn't seem to struggle, he seems to thrive on it.
Yeah, I think it's just experience, isn't it? I mean, he's probably about 6-7 years older than Ben as well. You've been there, seen it, done it, so yeah.
No, fair point. Assombalonga, one thing I will say, I think he does need more support.
Definitely.
And I think Bamford could potentially give him that. If I was to choose them players, I would definitely go for a 4-3-3 rather than a 4-4-1-1. And I would be going, if I was going to do that anyway, I'd go down the right-hand side because I think he's been fantastic on the right-hand side myself. But football's about opinions, that's why we're here.
Yep.
No, we'll give you the medium to give you an opinion. I can tell you you're wrong, but it means no. I'm always talking rubbish anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Let's go for a few more Facebook questions. Let's see what we've got in here. Would you, Anthony Pigeons asked, would you boo after a dodgy substitution? No, I wouldn't personally.
No.
Imagine how you feel as a player coming on there.
I didn't boo Ayala on Saturday. I felt like massively let down by what he'd done, but I thought there's just nothing to be gained by it for me. So you grumble about with your mates while you're in there, and then when you get out after the match and you have a pint and that, you have a grumble about it, but not in the ground.
No, you're right, mate. You're right. Pete Livo's joined, said big shout out to James from all the Boro Walkers.
Oh, fantastic group of people. I was with them on Friday night. They had a fundraising celebration do at the Riverside Stadium. They do a lot of good work for charities on Teesside. Good stuff.
We've had Pete and what's his name? The little tricky winger. What's his name? One who set the sells a dodgy Paul and Shark here. Putson.
John Putson.
Yeah. Little tricky winger.
He's a great cricketer.
Is he?
Yeah. You want to see his hands? Yeah, dodgy hands. Yeah.
Oh, right,
all broken, dislocated fingers, everything.
We'll say no more about that. Yeah. Well, a few things just going to kind of finish on here. We've got Bristol City coming on Saturday. The team, one of the top teams, haven't played yet. It's away from home at a ground we generally don't do quite well at. We have one or two grounds we don't do quite well at this season already in regard to Reading and Hull City. Is this going to be typical Boro and getting beat, because we always get beat here? Are we going to put a performance in and break another hoodoo? What do you think?
I fancy us to get 3 points on Saturday. I think we can go there and win. It's not more important, but it's important we don't get beat. We can't afford to get beat.
Agreed,
And I think ideally it'd be great to get 6 points from the next 2 games, but if we get 4 points from that and Ipswich at home, that's not a bad return for me. But we can't afford to lose any more ground on Bristol City, because I think they're one of the teams that are in the playoff places that we've got to be targeting to try and pull out of there.
I think so. You're looking at them in Cardiff City in particular, aren't you?
There's some that you think are going to be up there, like Wolves, like Villa. Sheffield United, I know they've had a bit of a wobble the last 2 home games, but you still think they look particularly strong. But Bristol City, you certainly want to be targeting to try and pull out of there.
So what do you think we can do differently against Bristol City on Saturday that we haven't done previously?
I think, the mistakes have got to be cut out.
That's been a big issue. It's been individual mistakes.
Every time we've made a mistake, it's cost us a goal, and every game it seems though we're chasing, being a goal behind, and it's then difficult when you're chasing games. And in this year, in fairness, what we didn't do under Karanka is we've come back when we've conceded goals.
Yeah,
pound, I'll put it in.
Put a pound in.
We haven't done that. And like I say, it's just, we've done that this year and we have fought back in games. So the character's there to do that.
Yeah.
And I've just got a feeling that we will pick up something there on Saturday.
Brilliant. And I mean, final thoughts on Gary Monk. Any comments we're getting coming in regards, like I'd say majority of people now say Monk out, what difference a week makes as a football fan. Premature?
Very. For me, you've given the chap a 4-year contract. I mean, you can't get rid of him before Christmas. Yeah. Things might not be working out how people expected, but again, this is a tough league. Yeah. We spent 7 years in it before, and it is a really tough league. There's no given results, or it's very difficult. And I just think to give a manager a 4-year contract, all his backroom staff, and then say, right, tear it up before Christmas and say, well, not even half the season's gone, and say it's not worked out. It's no guarantee the next manager you'll get in will work.
Absolutely right.
Don't go with that.
Yeah, good shout. Right, brilliant. Well, thanks for coming on, James. Been brilliant having you on, mate. It's nice to calm down after the AGAT scenarios last week. Facebook isn't full of hatred today, which is nice. Thanks for joining us. Boro fans, thanks for joining again. If people have missed out this show, let them know that'll be on YouTube later on tonight. Guessing the guys will be down at Bristol. Long journey down there on Saturday to get all your post-match thoughts as well. Be sure to like our Facebook page, YouTube, Twitter, anything else that you see Boro Fan TV. Just like it and share it. It's an outlet for all you guys to have your voice. That's what we're here for. Jimmy Lee's Boro Fan TV. Thank you very much.